We're in Melbourne, and around these parts, cars like this get nicknamed Toorak tractors. Expensive, spacious and luxurious, they're typically spotted tackling the school run around Melbourne's most affluent suburbs or enjoying a quick trip down the Mornington Peninsula. So today, we're in the leafiest streets we could find to compare two of the more compact of those 7-seat tractors, the Mercedes-Benz GLB 250 and the Land Rover Discovery Sport. You'll probably know the Land Rover Discovery Sport because it's been around the traps for a while. This is a 2020 model, but a 2021 model was recently announced, marking a price rise of around $2,000 to $3,000 per variant and the addition of a mild hybrid diesel powertrain. The variant we have here is what's called the R-Dynamic SE P250, which is Land Rover speak for the top-tier petrol variant. This model was priced from $70,867 before on-road costs. As tested, however, it's $81,947 before on-road costs, thanks to more than a few option packs. We're comparing it to the GLB, the newest addition to the Mercedes SUV family. Normally, this mid-spec GLB 250 4MATIC starts at $73,535 before on-road costs, but with our buffet of options, this one costs $86,465 before on-road costs. Hot tip: don't expect to drive away in either of these cars without at least adding a few optional extras. You're probably looking at these two because you've got a fair bit of budget and quite a few kids. So your top priority is going to be how that interior looks, feels and works for your family. Let's find that out first and foremost. The Discovery Sport is the larger of the two cars when it comes to width and height, but the GLB is slightly longer. Boots in both cars are comparable. The GLB has 500 litres with the rear row down, or 140 litres with it in place, while the Discovery Sport has 754 litres, but that's a wet measurement so it sounds a little higher, or 157 litres with the third row up, and annoyingly, nowhere to stow the cargo blind. To the naked eye, the GLB's boot is a tiny bit more accommodating with the third row in action, although neither car will leave much room for your groceries. I'm in the front seat of the Land Rover Discovery Sport, and while there are certain things that make it feel really premium, a few small things do let it down a little bit. On the positive side, I really like the clean and simple digital displays and the fact that there's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I really appreciate the plethora of optional cameras available, including the ClearSight rear vision camera here. And finally, the extra width does make it feel a lot more spacious and you don't feel like you're going to bump elbows with your passenger anytime soon. On the flip side, however, these seats could be a lot more comfortable. I find the headrest is needlessly hard. Of course, hot tip, don't get the cream if you're a neat freak. And finally, while the steering wheel controls look good, they're actually a bit fiddly to use, especially while you're driving. In the front seat of the GLB 250, things just feel a bit more obviously premium. The digital displays are crisper, you've got this swanky sunroof and these nice optional leather seats because faux leather is standard, and lots of driver assistance tech. That's not to say things are perfect, however. You get USB-C ports instead of traditional USB ports, which means you need a newer cable if you want to connect to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This silver stuff looks good but doesn't feel incredible. And finally, you've got that pesky Mercedes-Benz gear stick on the indicator stalk, which I can never quite get the hang of. Both cars give you the option of moving the middle bench seat forward and back for more or less legroom. It's a bit of a balancing act. The Discovery Sport has two ISOFIX points with top tether attachments, an armrest with cup holders, storage, air vents but no USB ports. However, the extra width is handy for sitting 3 across or fitting bulky child seats. The GLB's middle row has all of that, plus USB-C ports for passengers, plus it feels a little brighter thanks to the sunroof. But the real test of a 7-seater is how easy it is to get into that third row and what it's like once you're back there. Let's find out, shall we? The third row of the Discovery Sport is pretty well equipped. It does feel nice and wide and the windows are well placed so it feels light and bright. However, as you can see, as a tall person, I have literally no headroom and very little toe room, and I have to angle my legs to really take full advantage of the legroom on offer. There are, however, these optional air vents in the back with a little booster fan, plus these really handy levers which lets you fold down the middle row just in case your mates forget you and you get stuck back here. Back here in the third row of the GLB, there's more headroom and more room for your knees and toes with the middle row in a reasonable position. When it comes a bit further back, things start to get a bit more cramped. You also don't get any air vents, although you do get some USB-C ports, and these smaller side windows make things feel a little darker and a bit more cramped. It does win big points, however, for having ISOFIX points and top tether mounts for child seats in both the second and third rows, although I don't envy the person having to fit a child seat back here.
Both cars use a turbocharged 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, but that's about all they have in common. The GLB 250 isn't as powerful with 165 kilowatts and 350 newton meters compared to the Land Rover's 184 kilowatts and 365 newton meters. Behind the wheel is where things start to feel pretty different, so let's hit the road.
On the road, the Discovery Sport does feel like a much larger car, and you're going to feel conspicuous if you're manoeuvring in smaller city streets. Calmer acceleration, a long travel accelerator and a slightly laggy idle stop system do make it feel more docile around town and in need of a bit more encouragement to get moving. It is, however, smoother at low speeds and easier to park and crawl through peak hour traffic, although it can get confused in variable rolling traffic. Suspension in the Discovery Sport is a bit of a Goldilocks situation in that it's not too wafty and floaty and soft, and it's not too firm either. You won't feel like you're floating all over the road, but you will feel some of the harder edges of the road up through the cabin, although the edge will be taken off quite nicely. The GLB, meanwhile, really does feel like the smaller of the two cars. It's much zippier and more comfortable and easier to manoeuvre around town. It's more cautious about low speed work, but then delivers quicker shifts once you get moving and is sharper in busy traffic conditions. The idle stop system is quicker to respond, and like in the Discovery Sport, there's good rearward visibility, although I do feel like the side visibility is just slightly more compromised, but nothing too difficult to live with.
Compared with the Disco Sport, the GLB suspension is more wafty, but it can feel like it crashes through harder bumps. When it comes to fuel consumption, the Disco Sport is undoubtedly the thirstier of the two cars. Land Rover quotes 8.1 litres per 100 kilometres, but we recorded 11.8 litres per 100 kilometres on test, while Mercedes quotes 7.7 litres per 100 kilometres for the GLB, but we recorded 8.9 litres.
As for standard equipment, both cars come standard with all-wheel drive, 7 seats, dual-zone climate control, 19-inch alloy wheels, LED headlights and electronically adjustable front seats.
The Discovery Sport P250 includes standard adaptive cruise control, but the GLB's is optional, while the GLB comes standard with a sunroof. Standard Discovery Sport trim is partial leather, while Mercedes fits leather look, and the Benz has a more advanced driver assist package, while the Land Rover is better equipped for off-road use.
Safety is a crucial element in any family car, and both of these come with a pick and mix of standard and optional features.
They both get blind spot monitoring, rear view cameras, front and rear parking sensors, autonomous emergency braking, and lane departure warnings. Things like the 360-degree cameras fitted to both are options.
There are some differences too. While the Discovery Sport has lane assist and will bounce you back into your lane if you stray out of it, the GLB 250 has lane keeping, which means it will steer for you in short bursts and keep you centred in your lane.
Prepaid service packages are available for both. Land Rover's 5-year package is by far the cheapest at $1,950 for the Discovery Sport. The GLB 250 will cost $3,500 for the same coverage. Mercedes offers a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which looks good against the standard 3-year 100,000 kilometre warranty of the Discovery Sport, but always check for offers. 5 years extended warranty is often available via Land Rover.
And the winner is, as the more versatile family car, we're crowning the Mercedes-Benz GLB 250. It's just a little bit more at home in urban environments, it feels zippier to drive, the fuel economy is slightly better, there are more ISOFIX points, which is a big win for families, and of course it's got a little bit more fancy tech. It still loses points, however, for being a bit more expensive to service and for that third row, which is lacking in visibility and ventilation. Still, the Land Rover Discovery Sport does deserve some points for its more balanced suspension, its adventure capabilities, its lower servicing costs, and its more spacious interior. It is, however, just a bit more cumbersome around town, and it does use more fuel. Regardless, you do not have to live in Toorak to own and enjoy either of these two cars. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new video goes live. And to read the full written review, head to caradvice.com.au now.